Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, aka Mr. Everything, and I am coming back at you with another wargaming and miniature video. In today's video, we're gonna do a painting tutorial. This is how I paint P dot German camouflage on these three figures. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the P dot camouflage on these figures. I'm gonna go over each paint that I use and show you how to get to a great looking uniform. I've already got these figures prepared to start the P dot camouflage, so there were some things I did before the video. First thing, I primed them using Vallejo Field Gray. You can prime them any color: white, gray, brown, black. I know there's a lot of uh, choices on primer colors. I find that on World War II figures, darker colors are better, like browns, blacks, and maybe dark gray. I use the field gray because it's a good neutral color, and uh, it lends towards the old German aesthetic. The next thing I did was I painted all exposed flesh with flat flesh from Vallejo. Flesh I painted on these figures is flat flesh. Those of you that have watched any of my painting tutorials pretty much know how I go about doing that. But then I did put a flesh tone. I used the Quick Shade Army Painter Flesh Wash on the flesh. And then I also painted their boots uh, a dark brown. This is a grim brown from AK. It's almost like a black brown from Vallejo. Uh, and then if any of them have, there we go, jack boots, I actually painted those the black gray. We got black gray jack boots, and we have the grim brown combat boots. Now the helmet on this figure here, I painted with Waffen green. The Waffen green is the helmet. It's almost like a black green, but it's not as dark as a black green. It's just a really dark green. It's even lighter than dark green, so it's Waffen green. All right, and that prepares us. Now I already did their camo covers, but the entire uniform is going to have a base coat of cork. Cork is the base coat that goes on the P dot uniform camouflage. All right, now to get a varied effect, you should paint some jackets, and then you should also paint some pants. And then on others, you would paint both the jacket and the pants. Now, as you can see, I'm painting directly over any gear, straps, belts, any kind of LBE. That's load bearing equipment for those of you that don't know. So any of their pouches or belts or binoculars or gas mask case or anything, I'm painting completely over all of that, because if you painted it first and then went in with your camouflage paint and tried to, this is with any camouflage pattern, uh, or any uniform really. If you try to paint around the straps and the anything like that, um, you're doing yourself a disservice. because the camouflage is on the coat, right? It's on the jacket or the smock or whatever it is that you're painting, and the straps sit on top of that. And if you were to try to paint the straps first and then maybe paint around the straps with your if you try to paint around the straps with your uh, camouflage, what you'll do is you'll have a tendency to inaccurately represent the splotches because they would be split by the straps. So if you do it first and you just paint directly over the straps, then you'll get a more consistent camouflage pattern uh, under the strap. It'll be like on one side of the strap and it'll continue to the other side of the strap without any breaks. And then when you paint the strap, it will make it look like it's sitting on top of the camouflage. All right, now this figure, we're just doing the pants. Now, on the pants, you got to make sure, because I paint the boots first, you got to make sure that your paint doesn't get on the boots. And if it does, don't stress over it because you can always go in and fix your boot later at the end. But just to save you that extra effort of having to fix it, just avoid it. So he's the jacket, he's the pants. This guy will be both jacket and pants. He'll be the full deal. You also might notice that I painted his t-shirt white already. And a lot of times you'll see the a jacket or a uniform underneath the camouflage smock, and that uniform would be field gray. So if you see any of that poking up through the smock, like collars or anything like that, like I did here, you just avoid painting that because I've already primed it with the field gray. I got to be careful not to paint this guy's jackboot. Yeah, you wouldn't think cork, right? Cork is a very specific color, but AK Interactive recommends cork for their P. camouflage they also sell a P. camouflage painting set, and it includes cork. And we'll be using the majority of the recommended AK P. camouflage set colors in today's video, just so you know. Also, on your jackets, avoid painting any of the, the hands or the neck of your model because you put all that effort into painting them and washing them. So don't ruin it by putting cork on top of it. If you get it on a weapon like this Panzerfaust or anything else like the binoculars or whatever, then you'll be fine. Pants and jacket completely covered. Okay, the next color we're going to be using is called chocolate brown. It is going to be made into spots. Okay, there is something called spots, something called dots. A spot is a large patch of camouflage, uh, 6 inches or more. That would be a spot, like a big spot on the uniform. Or a dot is like 1 to 2 to 3 inch dots that are all over the uniform. But we're going to start with chocolate brown spots. Starting with this figure. Now, you don't need a lot of these spots. There will be tan spots and there will be green spots as well as this brown spot. The cork will almost completely be covered by spots, but the cork will shine through in certain spots. Okay. So you just make a spot like that, and imagine, if you would, 3 of those, and every third one is brown. Doesn't have to go in any specific pattern or direction. Actually, better if you randomize it. Okay, now this includes the helmet. Um, what I like to do is put a spot, about half a spot, but over the edge, maybe on the opposite side, another spot. Okay, you kind of get the idea. Same thing with the pants. Pants will also have, because all the patterns are the same. This guy is pants and jackets. Now, remember, the jacket is made from a separate piece than the pants, not like a onesie. So don't have your camouflage go from the jacket into the pants. You got to make sure your pants have their own camouflage pattern. They don't share the same spots. And then when you do the jacket, just do the jacket separate. All right, now the next color we're going to use is orange tan. It's also part of the AK P-Dot paint set. And at this point, we're not going to paint spots. Well, they are. They're spots, but they're going to be elongated. See if I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So you're going to see there, like a longer dot in these spots, and paint them between the brown. But remember, you're splitting your camouflage into threes, and this is only 1/3 of that camouflage pattern. But instead of it being just round and flat, it is a longer streak like an elongated dot. I don't know, you can see that on camera. I'm what I'm doing. Not much different than the cork, but there is enough of a difference you can see as a change. And you'll also notice that I paint it right up to the edge of the brush. So if I paint over the brown, it's okay. And again, remember, that's why I paint brown first, because I wanted it to have less of an impact on the camouflage. Because I knew the follow-up color might have a tendency to cover up some of the brown. All right, so the next color we're going to be using is AK's dark green, also part of the P dot camouflage set. And again, it's also part of the 3-spot system. At this point, we're going to try to make green spot, avoid the brown, and but if I get it on top of either the brown or the tan, actually not because I wanted green to be last spot. And they're not always going to be in straight lines, not perfect circles. You want them to have kind of a random look to it. But oval or longer is definitely wrenching. Beige. Oh, camouflage covers. Forgot about get your covers. All right, now we're going to continue on with the same color, dark green. We're going to do a little bitty spots, but these spots are there's going to be very few of them. And I'm going to avoid putting spots on the dark green, obviously, or that it's the same color on the same color. So I'm only going to put a couple of them. Scattered about like that. Like on one sleeve, I only did 4 dots. Do the back. On the brown is okay. It's just that it's going to be lost. Again, that's now on the back. Front of his in his helmet cover. Just gonna get 2. Yeah, maybe a 3. You know, the gear. Um, and just putting it on the camouflage tunic. And then when I paint, if it happens to go over any dots, you know, it covers any dots, so be it, because that's what would have happened. Okay, so we got some dark green dots. Like I knew. We'll just give them 1 dot right there. Okay, the next color is light green. This is a very bright green. It's also part of the dot camouflage paint set. It has even less dots than the dark green. So we're going to, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one dot for every group of dark green dots. Uh, and these I'm going to put on top of the dark color, either the dark green or the brown. Two on the front of the paint, each layer. Two on the back of the. Okay, continuing on with the light green, just to make it a little bit more visible or dramatic, I guess is the word. Go ahead and put a light green spot in every one of your dark green and dark brown spots. It will make the contrast of the spots more pronounced. And so this is what you would kind of what you would get. Not done yet. This is only the light green spots and the dark green spots. Okay, and now we are back with the chocolate, which is also going dots. But at this point, we're going to put these dots in the tan area. Now the chocolate dots, I don't put a whole lot of them. Just look for gaps. Gosh. I don't have any specific number that I kind of look for the largest area. All right, so now we're coming back to orange tan. Okay, so now the orange tan is a little watered down, so it might be a little transparent, which is perfect. And then what I do is I'm going to put dots all over, just a million dots. Time consuming. Take your time and get really good results. And bottom. Starting with the working my way up. Way up. All right, so you gotta let it dry for it to really show the effect. But you got your E dot. All right, so now let that dry, paint some equipment, and we'll be back. All right, we are back. This is actually 24 hours later. This is after I apply a, well, actually, I finished painting all the accessories, but I also applied a soft tone wash to the entire model. And then I went ahead and flocked the base, used a little bit of the brown texture and the grass green. But the focus is on the P dot camouflage. Okay, I'm going to let this spin a couple of times so you guys can take it all in. Do you like this pattern? Do you think it's you think it would look good on the table? Do you have a different way of painting P dot camouflage? Did you learn something by watching this video? I'm interested in hearing all of your comments. Please put them in the comments. And if you'd like to follow me and my tutorials and my what's in the boxes and my boot camps and my Wargaming weeklies, go ahead and follow me. And also be sure to hit the notification icon so that you can be notified anytime I upload a new video. All right. I'll see you in the next video.